Hey everybody, thanks for watching my top 5 cinematic board games, intellectual property. These are the games that are so recognizable that you want to just jump right in. They have the characters and the locations and all the stuff that makes you feel like you are in the movie. That's what I was going for in my top 5 list. So stay tuned for my not intellectual property cinematic board games, which is my next top 5. But now, let's jump right in.
The first thing I'm gonna do when I get back is get some decent food. Oh, just something in my throat.
Legendary Encounters has a series of television and cinema-based games. Big Trouble in Little China, Firefly, Predator, and Alien. I picked Alien because I love a great science fiction film, and not only do you get one film, you get all of the Alien films. Each time you play, you can set the cards and the objectives and the aliens and the story to match each of the Alien films. The first one, of course, starts off with Alien, and you have to worry about facehuggers and chestbursters, and you have to kill the really big baddie, which is the perfect organism. It is the movie. It's so good. And what's wonderful about Legendary Encounters is that they give you a beautiful, very organized, detailed playing mat. And when you look at it, you know exactly where to put everything, and your cards are super easy to lay out. It accelerates the game and it helps the players play the game. So in Alien, what you're trying to do is you are trying to upgrade by buying more cards. So this is a deck building game, and you get these cards that give you more damage and give you more buying abilities. Some of the cards actually let you play on somebody else's turn. It is essentially an assist card. You're also trying to scan. And when you scan all these different rooms in your spaceship, you are essentially looking for the aliens. You are looking for what's going to happen, but you might run into events and you might run into hazards. And it's just so exciting. You don't know what's going to appear in a room when you go and look in it, which is the whole point. It is just really fun and exciting and super, super thematic. The reason why this game is in my 5 slot is because I feel like you probably lose more than you win. It's super easy to get hit pretty hard with a bunch of random wounds, and you might get 1 point, a minor scratch, or you might get 6 points of damage, and it's life-threatening. The other thing is, when you finally get the perfect organism, they have to get in the exact slot, and you have to essentially kill them that turn, or you're kind of done. Aside from losing and not really having a chance to win, it's a great game. It's probably very winnable, and I look forward to playing Aliens, the next movie in the series of Legendary Encounters Alien.
Play fucking!
As if all the pew-pews and the didn't give it away. That's right, my number 4 is Star Wars Rebellion. Star Wars Rebellion is an epic battle between 2 players. So one player plays the Rebels and the other plays the Empire. And you have all of the recognizable iconography and the symbols and the characters and the equipment and the ships and everything is there. The planets, the names, the leaders. I mean, it is chock full of Star Wars, and you really do feel like you have to become whichever team you decide in the beginning. because each person has their own win condition. The rebels have a rebel base that's hidden in the entire planet system, and the board is enormous, and so there are plenty of planets to pick from. They do start out with a little bit of a disadvantage because they don't really have that much on the board. They are trying to stay hidden. On the other side, you have the Empire, and they are trying to find the rebel base. If they can find the rebel base, get their troops in there, clear out the rebels, then they can say, we found you, and they win. I love playing the baddies, I love playing the Empire, but playing the rebels though, when we switched sides and I played the rebels, I found that I had a very different feel, a different strategy, a different technique of playing that was demanding me to play versus playing the Empire. It was very different. So you have to adjust to whichever side you play. There's a wonderful mechanism of recruiting troops and building and deploying units. The battle is straightforward, but also super interesting, with black and red dice being your defense and your attack based on the stats that are on your player card. So if you look at your units, you find out which units attack with black dice, which units attack with red dice, and it's just super interesting. Battle goes turn by turn, so you do one whole round. It's essentially at the same time, so you are attacking each other and defending simultaneously, and then you can retreat or you can continue fighting until there's only one side in that particular region. The entire game works on these mission cards, having a goal from each side to accomplish, so that you can get these loyalty markers out and you can really grow your area and your strength. It feels so cinematic. It gives you that feel, and it's a wonderful two-player game. It does take between 3 and 4 hours to play, which I think makes it feel like a movie. It is epic. You are there. It's this struggle every single turn. Who's gonna win? Am I gonna stay hidden as the Rebel Alliance? As the Empire, am I gonna find you out? And along the way, am I going to destroy 1, 2, 3 planets, you know, preventing you from colonizing and growing that area for the Rebel Alliance? It's fun. It's exciting, and I think it definitely deserves to be in the cinematic top 5. Hey! Get out of the water! We all know if someone yells, "Get out of the water," there's only one thing behind us. It's a Jaws! That's right, my number 3 is Jaws. This game just came out recently, and it is a really great 2-phase movie epic experience. It's a smart game that pits the shark against 3 of the main characters from the movie Jaws. Jaws is played in 2 phases. In the first phase, you have the shark player who has secret information, hidden information about their whereabouts and their special ability tokens. And the shark player is playing against Hooper, Quint, and Brody from the movie. Those 3 characters, which can be played by 1 person, 2 or 3 people, they are trying to thwart the shark's plans to eat up all of the swimmers that are laying around the beaches on the exterior part of the board. They do that with 3 pretty unique special abilities. There's a fish radar, there are buoys that can essentially thwart the shark, and then lastly there are the binoculars where the players can find the shark a little bit more easily. So every round the shark is tracking their movements and their special abilities on this little secret card, and then they either gobble up people or they just kind of are lurking around in the waters waiting to pounce. And the other players have to essentially try to save as many swimmers as possible. So in the first phase, shark, eat as many people. Humans, try to save as many people. And so whatever that score is going into phase 2 affects the amount of bonuses or benefits that the shark player gets or that the human players get. After the beach scene is done, that's phase 1, It moves into phase 2, and you pull out these pieces after you flip the board over and you build a boat. And now this is the boat scene where the shark is swimming around the boat because they finally found the shark, and they're gonna like just hone in on the shark and they're gonna kill him. But the shark is running around bumping the side of the boat, and there's this really great ABC. You flip over these cards that let the shark know how many dice they can roll for attack and what abilities they can use. Meanwhile, you got the humans who have all these weapons like harpoons and guns and just cool stuff. And they're trying to stop the shark from knocking the boat, damaging it, and or knocking the boat to pieces to smithereens and towards just ocean. The shark can win if it knocks the people senseless and knocks all their health down. It's a really fun, exciting, two-parter, clever, cinematic game. Excuse me, Gandalf.
You shall not pass. It was only my 4th serving.
Which only means that my number 2 is Lord of the Rings! Journeys in Middle-earth. So in Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, everyone is taking on the role of one of 6 characters, and you work together. This is a cooperative game, and you are exploring an area that is continually unfolding for you in front of you, but also in an app. It is a wonderful, wonderful cinematic feeling game. The story tells you what to do as you follow along in the app, and you build your tiles that they give you in the box in front of you on the board so you can see it, and you can move your minis around, and you can add the monsters, and you can add the appropriate tokens where you need to. You get to do 2 actions on your turn, which could be the same action. You can travel, you can interact, and you can attack. Every character is equipped with special items, armor, and equipment. Each character has a weakness or a flaw card that is shuffled into their skill deck. And it just is so nuanced and dynamic, and it makes everything really come to life. It feels so real. And with the individualized characters, how do you not feel like you are embodying Boromir or Legolas or who's the little one? The little hobbit, Bilbo or Bilbo. Each player has a role, and they also have specific cards that are given to them based on their character. So every player gathers together this deck, and the deck is going to be used when you need to test your skills in particular things. And each character has a different skill win rate. If you draw an asterisk in the corner, that top left corner, you get a varying amount of successes, and that's how you test your skills. You also do the same thing when you fight and you attack monsters. The fun thing about this game is, again, that exploration into the unknown. Every time you finish a particular challenge that the app walks you through with gorgeous music and beautiful, beautiful artwork, which puts you right into that Lord of the Rings feel. I mean, you are there. You just feel like you're on that journey with your friends. The cooperation in this works best when everyone realizes they're playing a cooperative game. Sometimes my husband forgets that we're playing a cooperative game and so he'll leave me behind. But if you have your friends that you love and trust and want to play this with, and you love the lore, definitely give Journeys into Middle-earth a try. I think it is a wonderful, wonderful cinematic board game experience.
What's up, Invisible Man? You been killing any villagers lately?
What has a mummy and an invisible man? Horrified! Horrified does. That's right. Horrified has all the classic villains, and it's fantastic. This game is my number one because it gives you the cinematic feel that you want without taking the better part of your Saturday. Horrified is a clever monster game that gives you that feel of fighting the classic monsters like Frankenstein and his bride, the mummy, the invisible man, the wolf man, Dracula. I mean, these classic monsters show up and they each work differently. That's what makes this game great. Every single villain has their own thing that you have to do to defeat them, and they are all really, really unique. I like that. I also like how unique the individual character cards are. They have a number in the top that has how many actions you take. It has a special ability in the center with their image, and then it also tells you where they start the game. Now, after you start the game, you can go wherever you want, as long as you can walk there with your actions. You can walk to places, you can corral villagers to where they need to go to keep them safe. If the monsters ever get the villagers, which are kind of like your NPCs, then you lose a villager and that knocks down your health token. This is your collective lose condition, essentially. If the monsters can kill enough villagers, then they win the game and the players lose. So losing a villager to maybe it's inevitable, maybe it's part of the story, but you can't lose too many or you're gonna lose the game. So you wanna save these villagers. Perk cards give you that extra edge you need. You get one when you safely deliver a villager to the location they want to go to, and I think that gives you that extra incentive to save villagers, not just because if you let them die you lose the game, but if you save them you also get something extra. You also want to collect items because items are the way that you can defend yourself when monsters attack you, and they're also the way that you can defeat monsters when they ask for very specific items. There are colors and there are numbers on these items. So you are trying to work together, you're talking it out, you're thinking about your next move, but you're also really excited about the next card that's gonna flip, and you wonder, oh no, is the Wolfman gonna get me? Is the creature from the Black Lagoon going to come out of the water and snatch me? The game is smart, and I enjoy playing it because it's cooperative and it just has so much packed in there. Horrified is easily replayable with the variety of monsters and how many monsters you add, because if you want a really, really challenging game, add another monster. There are some monsters that are a little easier to play than others as well, so based on that, you can really kind of give your game a range of easy to medium to hard to really hard.